Wandarri Yamatji. WY is a pro-Aboriginal site with a strong focus on delivering informative content regarding Aboriginal history, both ancient and over the recent 230 years, as well as currently. Wandarri, including its variations, is an Aboriginal word referring to the land itself, without relying on English terms such as land or, more specifically, Australia. The word has been described as a composite, and it appears across several language groups in the central regions of Western Australia, extending into the Western Desert. In some contexts, it refers to dirt or red sand. WY uses Wandarri to draw a clear distinction between the term Australia, which functions as a title of colonial ownership, and Wandarri, which is not a title but a description. WY believes it is important for Aboriginal people to have their own shared word for the entire land, whether that word is Wandarri or another. Yamatji is a Wajari word that has at least two different meanings: a member of the Wajari people, or any Aboriginal person from the Murchison and mid-region of Western Australia, extending into the Western Desert. WY understands that truth, and the recognition of truth, can never be divisive except for those who benefit from lies, where truth divides them from their advantage at the expense of others. WY understands that being pro-Aboriginal is not anti-white. However, to deliver information at the highest level, WY needs and has a moral obligation to place strong emphasis on white Australia historical wrongs against Aboriginal people and all current social injustices perpetuated by way of the same colonial system that has evolved. Furthermore, WY embraces the fact that many Aboriginal people have white blood in their ethnic composition, amongst likely many other ethnicities in the current time. WY respects Aboriginal people who embrace and love their ethnicities outside of Aboriginal. WY respects Aboriginal people who consider themselves as mixed race and or multicultural, but also respect for people who have any percentage of Aboriginal blood in their ethnic composition but do not identify as Aboriginal, or at least primarily. However, WY has limits to such respect. WY does not accept anyone with Aboriginal DNA, identifying as Aboriginal or not, being ashamed of their Aboriginal blood and heritage, as this is considered an Australian systematic failure amongst other social and individual failures. WY understands and respects that many Aboriginal people have white family members and or white friends. WY moderates comments on the page, but usually only primary comments and not reply comments. However, WY will very rarely moderate comments made by Aboriginal people due to the necessity to speak their mind and have an outlet for joy, sadness, anger, and grief, as they cannot do so on most Australian sites. WY understands that Aboriginal people have a strong connection to one another, but also that each can have their own individual opinions that may not always align with one another, or WY, and that's okay. WY is strong in the belief of traditional culture and spirituality taking precedence over all, but understands that Aboriginal people need to adapt to many of Australia's requirements at present. Hopefully, this gives people a clearer understanding of WY and be part of the discussions and future.